Well, I'm so excited that you're here. You know, I had a great weekend. Did you have a great weekend? Man, I tell you what, I tell everyone, people ask me, how you doing? Well, I can tell you for a fact there's only two kinds of days at my age, good and better. Today we want to talk about a topic. In fact, I'm not going to tell you exactly what the topic is until we get a little bit into the story. By the way, I'm Lou Vickery, and as I said, I'm excited you're here. Man, it just makes me feel so wonderful that you have joined me. And I want to begin by telling a story about two brothers. Now, this happened centuries ago, but they were convicted of stealing sheep. As part of their penalty for this offense, they were branded on the forehead with the letters ST for sheep thief. After serving some prison time, the two brothers were released. One brother felt like he was unable to withstand the stigma of being an ex-convict, so he moved to a foreign land. The other brother said, I can't run away from the fact that I stole sheep. I'm going to return to my home and win back the respect of my neighbors and myself. As the years passed, he built a reputation of honesty and integrity. He did a marvelous thing in the village where he grew up. The older he got, the more those around him looked up to him. One day, in his golden years, a stranger saw the man with the letters ST branded on his forehead. And he proceeded to ask a native villager what the ST on that individual's head stood for. Well, the native said, it happened many years ago. I don't know for sure, but I think the letters are an abbreviation for saint. Great story. ST, not sheep thief, but a saint. There's a past in every sinner's present. Now, let me start that over. There is a past in every saint's present. There's a future in every sinner's present. Well, we got it right. But that's true, isn't it? It bothers me so much that the media goes back years and years and picks up something to talk about someone in a negative way. It's got to dig. But one of the greatest things about being a human being, in my estimation, is that we have the right to understand and develop the art of overlooking. To me, it's one of the most admirable qualities that a human being can have. The art of overlooking. Now, I think I briefly have mentioned this in the past, but I wanted to spend more time with it today. You see, according to Dr. Frank Crane, by the way, Dr. Crane's book was printed in 1904. I have a copy. Some great stuff. But he says a person who possesses the art of overlooking is high-souled, rising above pettiness and mean-spiritedness. The art of overlooking is a very important and valuable art to cultivate. Now, I'll be the first to admit, it's not easy. It's not easy to overcome some of the things that have happened to us in the past that have been, if you will, inflicted on us by others. But when we feel someone has done us wrong, if we would just take a real strong look at how important it is to us as individuals to overlook and to move on. But our first impulse is to what? Strike back, to exact the Old Testament law of an eye for an eye. But you know what happens to us in most cases when we do that? The more we try to get even with someone, the more uneven our lives become. You think about that. So what have I learned that I'd like to pass along to you about how to use the art of overlooking? The art of overlooking. The art of overlooking is rooted in the deep recognition that there's a fundamental disparity between the way things are perceived and the way things really are. The ability to communicate is a mode to close the disparity that can exist between people. The art of overlooking is a powerful demonstration of a strong sense that there is a willingness, an internal willingness to give yourself over to the innate capacity for making certain you understand a situation before passing judgment. This day and age with social media, isn't it so prominent how quick people are to pass judgment? But you don't have to be that way. Neither do I. When you use the art of overlooking, you tend to overlook the faults and the flaws of others. This leads to discovering and unleashing your sense of compassion and a deep felt desire to help others. The art of overlooking is expanded when you and I view others through generosity, sensitivity, empathy, and is strengthened through our openness, our awareness, our respect and connectedness with others. The art of overlooking enhances the understanding that happiness depends not on each of us alone, but is intensely entwined with the happiness of others. Our ability to understand the fundamentals of the art of overlooking energizes our journey toward developing and building deeper and more meaningful relationships. The key to more meaningful relationships is to permeate an ever-widening field where we interconnect because we infuse the art of overlooking in our daily affairs. We do it with wisdom. We do it with tolerance. We do it with joy. The most effective method utilized in the art of overlooking is when we arm ourselves with patience, tolerance, forbearance, and forgiveness. And never forget, God allows U-turns. That's right. And that should be the basis to our understanding of the art of overcoming. Let me just close with this little point. Wouldn't we all be better off if the good that is in us all were the only thing about us that we all bother to recall? Wouldn't it be great if we told each other the good we see? I know something good about you. You know something good about me. Well, I'm Lou Vickery, and I hope you check out my website, the Lou Vickery Library, there's about 12 books that are still active that you can make purchase of. Check them out. You can read about them. It's at awiseword.life/library. Well, until we meet again, you keep that smile on your face. You keep happiness in your heart. You keep optimism on your tongue. I'm Lou Vickery. I'll see you soon.